Thanks, hon. Why are you doing that?
I just made me a little bit more this way.
Hello, hello. I see someone. I see a couple of people. Say hi so I can see comments. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? We made it home. We're about to leave again tomorrow. It's a crazy ride. So at the shows, I noticed that a lot of people were asking me how to cut apart the dies, which I guess if you've been crafting for a really long time, that kind of seems like an interesting question. But if you haven't been crafting for a long time, then maybe you really don't know. So I thought we would talk about it today. Hi, Carol. How are you? So what I'm going to do first is show you the new release because we were out of town. So we have voodoo dolls. So much fun. This is the stamp and die set. They're bundled together now. This is cute but creepy. Super fun. And this is the stamp and die set as well. Then this one is fall sentiments. Sort of covers all your fall needs, which is awesome. Thank you, Tessa. And what isn't there? What you can't see that's hiding in the dark. So mosquito, flies, and a great big spider, which is super cool. So our stencil that my hubby designed is a two-part stencil. So you can either use this one or you can use this one, or you can lay them on top of each other, which is what we're going to do tonight, and you'll get two different looks. So this release is the first one with all Jamie and I stamp sets. So I drew the images for these three, and Jamie did all the sentiments for us. I mean, she does all the sentiments, and then we talk about them and decide what's going on there. And then, but this is a me and Jamie release. See that, Jamie? Sandy, Sandy, Sandy. Look at that. All of us together. We're so excited about this release. We hope you guys love it. So I am going, hi Jamie. Tonight I'm going to use cute but creepy. But I'm not going to do the creepy clown. I'm going to do the cute but creepy. So I'm going to do the cute clown tonight. And now back to people asking about how to cut the dies apart. So I am going to actually show you how to cut apart your dies, because they come all together in one big block like this. Especially like our the biggest question we usually get are our Clutter Caddy and our Thought Spot. How do I cut all the pieces apart? So you're gonna need some wire cutters. These are from Hero Arts. I think I got them from I don't know, one of those shops that sells a lot of stuff. And so I just picked them up. I have this pair and I have two other pair. These are my newest ones. I like them. They're easy to use. They have really pointed little tip. And what you do is you find the tiniest connectors, the ones that connect each one of the dies together, and you're gonna snip up close to the word and then up close to the image. So this little piece right here will just pop out. So you have to be careful that it doesn't go flying across your room. which mine usually do. But anyway, there it is. So you have to do that around the entire...
Wear eye protection for your safety.
Wear eye protection for your safety, my hubby says. It can be that crazy. So now I have cut out one die, so there's no little hooks hanging on it or anything. It's just one complete die. And then I use so already adhesive business card magnetic strips, and then I just stick my dies to that. They do go flying. I try to hold my trash can, to hold it into my trash can so they won't go flying, but let me tell you, they still go flying. I'm going to try to do this because I'm showing you guys without them going flying. I'm going to try to hold on to each one of them so they don't go too far. But I don't usually do that. So I'm just going right up close to the die and I'm holding on to the piece that's going to go flying so that it doesn't go flying. Now that takes a lot longer, so I usually just let them go flying. The vacuum will pick it up. But for this purpose, so now the whole inside of this die is all cleaned out. So now in order to get this one separated, I have to cut all the in-betweens that are holding them together. So here and here. So now I have two dies cut apart. So now I have these little leftover thingies hanging off here. Ugh, gross. So I'm gonna cut those off. Ooh, that one actually went into my thumb, so be careful you don't do that. I'm telling you, they're a little bit on the wicked side. So this one's gonna go flying. I don't want to poke my finger again because there be blood on this one. Hi, Rinska.
Well, you know your coloring's gonna have some red in it.
Well, I'm planning on coloring with red tonight anyway, so if my thumb bleeds, well, you know, it is what it is. They're not real hard to cut, but they are hard to cut and hold in one spot. Watch out, Dale. Here they go. You can hear them hitting stuff in your room if you don't if you don't pay attention. But
you don't worry about the mess because you know I'm gonna be vacuuming.
I know Dale vacuums, so I usually just let them go flying. But anyway, you look for those tiny pieces, and it's pretty easy. But you have to cut them apart. You can't leave them together when you're die cutting, or you'll cut your clown's face right off. So there's our other clown. This is the one we're going to use tonight. So we're going to go ahead and keep him out. And then if you didn't know, all our dies cut out everything in the stamp set. So just FYI. Here we go. There's that clown. And there's that one. And then this one is here. And this one goes here. And we have 3 more. This is hard to do so you guys can watch me. Because usually I'm cutting them into the trash can, but they go far. Do you hear them?
That one over by the books case.
Yeah, they're going off by the bookcase. This one goes on the Boo, and this one goes on Cute But Creepy, and this one goes on... Can't read that upside down. Oh, hello. That's the one.
I don't know, maybe you should save the clippings and see if you can sell it back
Right? So there. All the dies get cut apart and they all fit over all the sentiments and all the images in the stamp sets. They're also made in the USA. So, yay for USA. All right. So I put them on my magnetic sheet. You can place them back inside each other if you need to. Wherever you want. Your call. It's your stamp set. This one will probably need to go over here. So that one can go right there. But we're going to need this one tonight. So I'm going to leave that one out.
Since you have more people, we'll do a recap.
Oh, did I say that wrong, Michelle? Oh, hello. I should be saying it like they do on that show, It. I guess I'm not feeling my my creepy side tonight.
Except for crafting, we all clip here.
We all clip here. We all clip stuff here. Oh, I am going to have to use my stamp because I do not have this stamped out yet. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so clearly I wasn't ready for the live tonight, but I figured you guys would be excited anyway to... I wanted to try to fit in a live real quick before we get on the airplane tomorrow and head off to the next show, because you know that's the way it goes. This is the new Sweet Sentiment paper that I'm cutting up. I'm just cutting it to regular card size. It was a leftover sheet I had, so all is good. I usually save those extra pieces so I can do some of that swatching when I need to. So tell me, was it helpful? I hope it was helpful to see how the dies are cut apart. I know that I had a few people ask, so I thought, why the heck not show ya? I am gonna prep my stamp before I use it because I haven't used it yet. So usually I rub my hands on it, but I'm gonna do that, plus I'm going to actually wipe it like it's already been stamped once, because you know, just because I want it to stamp well. So I just put water on it and I'm just going to wipe it off like I've already stamped with it once, just to get all the residue from the person who makes the stamp company that we use. I just want to make sure it's well loved. And now we're going to get the Memento ink out, and we're going to stamp our clown with Memento. Now this stuff's been sitting on my desk since I've been gone all the time. I hope it didn't dry out. Alright, I'm going to use my espresso to just get that even pressure over my clown. Aww, he's so cute. I'm going to stamp him one more time because I want him to really show up. I want his buttons to be really black. And I may go over them with a dark Copic black, but let's see how well this one works out for us. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead, close my ink pad so I don't stick my arm in it. And voila! We have a clown. Yay! Can you tell I'm feeling a little bit crazy tonight? That's why I thought the crazy clowns would go well. Hi, Wanda. Alright. So now we can put our little clown back because we're going to color him. I like to put them right back on there the way they were when you got them. So I'm a little particular about that. Most people aren't, but I like to be able to see through the screen, you know, because it has the image printed on here. I like it to be exactly where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's harder to see what the image is. What are you saying about me over there? Did you say I was anal about this? That's not very nice.
Your particulars about.
My particulars?
About your stamps.
I'm allowed to be particular. All right. So let's put this little baby away for now. I did already choose some colors, so you guys don't even have to sit through that. All right. So we have a cute little clown here. We're going to color him. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Okay. So with this little clown, I want to give him a white face, like he has white face paint on. I think that looks really cute when you do that on the clowns. Hi, Nan. And I think that looks really cute. Now, you could do him skin tone color. You could even put a little bit of skin tone around it and then white in the center. So it's kind of up to you to play around with and see which way you like it better. Wow, I just cleaned my glasses and I can see so much better. But tonight, we're going to start off with C3, 1, and 0 to give the white look to his face. And I want that to stand out, so I'm not really going to do much else on the picture in white. Let me zoom in just a tad bit more so you guys can really see. But I think it's a good idea to start with the face. You guys know I don't like to draw red or green or any other color into my white. So I like to start with the white first. Alright, so C3 is the one I'm going to use for shadow areas. Hey, honey, can you charge that up for me, please? Okay, so C3 is what we're going to start with. And we're going to start by doing this area that is really close to his hat. And then I'm going to do just a little bit down the side of his cheek. Just a little bit. I'm going to move on to the next color, C1. So we're not putting a lot of this. We're just going to put enough of this gray that it gives the white effect rather than just leaving the paper white. Which you could do as well if you wanted. So C1, I'm going to drag this up a little bit further and out, kind of pushing it back just like we do with skin tones. I'm going up just a little bit further up his face, a little bit down his cheek, kind of blend out that color just a little bit. I'm also going to put just a little bit along his chin and under his eyes. See, already he looks like he has shadow, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to use C00 next. And C00 is so very, very light that I'm just going to use it to kind of blend out those colors so they're not so prominent. That gray isn't dominating the photo. Now, it's going to look really dark right now. But when I start getting some color in here, you're not really going to see that so much. This is just putting the basis on it. Once I start putting all of the bright colors on this sweet little clown, you're not even going to notice that. But to give you the difference between just leaving it white and giving it shadow, this will kind of give you that effect. So that is all we're going to do with the white. So that was C3, C1, and C00. I'm not going to use them again, so I put that away. So next I'm going to start with some bright colors I chose. Now I'll show you all the combinations I've picked for this image. So we're going to have some green going on, and it's going to be G99, YG17, G14, YG03, and then we're going to go into YG21. So this is going to be like a dark green that goes right into a yellow green. Then for red I have R89, R37, R46, and R24. And then orange I have YR18, 16, and 15. And for my blue, I'm going to use B18, 16, and 14. And then for my yellow color, I'm going to use YR21, 20, and 11. So these are the blue, yellow, orange, red, and green that we're going to use to fill out his entire outfit. Are you guys ready? All right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start again with lighter colors rather than darker colors. So I'm going to start with my yellows first. And what I want to do is I want to do all of this ruffles that he has on his outfit in the yellow. So I'm going to start with YR21. And I'm just going to start building in. This is still a light color, but it is the darker of the colors. So I'm going to start building in the part that I want to be the shadow. So on this side, I did the shadow on the right, and on this side, I'm going to do the shadow on the left. So that's where they're going to dip down. I'm also going to do a little bit on the underside. So we get just a little bit darker on the underside of the ruffle. And since that's a small area, we're going to go ahead and do his waistline as well, and then we'll do the hands and legs a little bit later. So I'm going to follow the same thing. I'm going to keep the shadow on the right for those that are going down, and the ones that are up, I'm just going to put it in the back. Just in the back, and then down the left hand side for the right side of the body. There we go. And then the underside, I want to keep it dark, so I'm going to do the underside, just the parts where it buckles up. There we go. We got us a little bit of yellow going on. YR20 is real close to 21, so I'm just going to be putting a little bit of this one in there. Going to be finishing it off with the Y11, and that's where I'll use quite a bit more. So you guys are mighty quiet. Does anybody have any questions? Jamie and I are flying out tomorrow for New Jersey. Get the New Jersey show tomorrow. Or actually, the show is this weekend, but we got to get out there tomorrow so we can set up on Thursday and do the make and take. Okay, Y11 is next. So this one, I'm going to start from the bottom of the ruffle and go into the color. I'm going to leave these little stripes alone because I want to do them a different color. And you'll notice that I switched from the YR colors to a Y. This is a very bright yellow, and it'll show that contrast real well. which is exactly what I was going for. I knew that they'd blend well together, and I knew that the yellow would stand out a little bit more with a more white Y color than a YR color. Now when I do the edges of the ruffles, I'll just be using one marker for that. I won't be using more than one marker. It's too skinny of an area. So now we just have to repeat that same thing for his ruffles on his arms and his legs. So back to YR21. And on his arms, I'm gonna do a little bit up at the top all the way across the whole top. And then I'm gonna do the parts that I think have the most overlapping that might do some shadow effects. And on this side, same thing, where it's sewn together. And then down just a few areas where I think there might be more shadow than others. And let's go ahead and do this ruffle down here. So with this one, it's so tiny. I'm gonna do that line up against the bottom of the pants, and then I'm gonna skip the bottom ones. I'm gonna skip YR20 on those and just go right into the Y11. But there's a little bit more up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of this YR20 in here on the wrists. I'm just not gonna do it on the pants part. I feel like it's just too small of an area, and I don't really need it. So there's Y11. Just checking to see if hope I'm not missing any comments. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here on this one like I did before, getting that yellow color in there. Same thing on this one. And you can color these any color you want. I mean, it's a clown. Some of our DT and such have colored them in red and black and gray. I think Jamie colored them in all the colors of the rainbow. Okay. So I think I'm gonna wait on the stripes because I haven't quite decided what color I want to do that yet, but I know I want to do a red, blue, and orange here and on his pants. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. So my blue is B18 is the darkest one, so I'm gonna start with that. And I'm going to do this middle one with the blue, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of that, so where the shadow would be, and then right around where these would wrinkle up just a little bit. And then on the pants, I'm gonna start on the outside. I have a little something on the tip of my marker. I'm just going to wipe it off here and see if I can get it off better. And then this part right here, these two meet up, so this whole center part is going to be blue. But you know, that's up to you. You could do, you know, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange if you wanted to, but I kind of wanted them to match, the pant legs to match, which puts two blue in the center. So that's why I chose to do that, but honestly that's just completely a personal preference. It's entirely up to you. Hey babe, will you look on Facebook and see if there's comments that I'm not getting? B16 is next. And I'm going to pull from where I put the last color and just extend out a little bit further. We only have 3 colors in this combination, so I'm just going to leave a small area for the last color. So this is like our true color right here, B16. And we're just going to leave a little bit of a highlight area. You guys are very quiet tonight. I thought we were going to have a loud, active group until you guys all went silent on me. So this is our second color. We're only going to have 3 colors, so I'm going to make sure that I get most of that colored in with this one. Hopefully you guys can see that okay while I'm doing it. We have one more color in our blue combination, and it is B14. And I'm just going to do that in a back and forth swipe motion. Just back and forth over the whole thing, just kind of quick. Don't leave it sitting on the paper too long. If you do, you'll darken that color more and more, which if that's in your intent, then that's fine, but I didn't want mine to be that dark. So those are my blue, and now that I've done the stripes, I think I should do the stripes at the top as well. So I'm gonna go in with the blue, and this time I'm going to do every other one. So I'm going to start this one that's right in the corner. I'm just going to do the whole thing in blue, and then this one, and this one. I'm doing every other one, and I'm hoping I don't mess it up, because whenever you're doing every other one, sometimes you can get a little lost in the process and end up coloring too many of them. Hi, Leah. B16 is next. So remember, we only have 3 colors, so we're going to use this one more than we're going to use any of the other ones. It's our 3rd color. We're going to leave a little bit open for the last color. Hey, are you still visiting? You're not home yet? He kind of looks really cool in this so far. Wasn't sure what I was going to think about this color combination, but now just going to do that back and forth real quick. Kind of still leave a little bit of highlight going on there. After this upcoming show that we have this weekend, then we have a little break, so I'll be back online with you guys for a while. Okay, so next I'm going to go to orange. So I am going to switch my yellow spot with my orange spot. I picked YR18, YR16, and YR15. You like it so far? He'll get a little crazy here in a little bit. We're just doing the easy part right now. So YR18, this is where I wanted to alternate the stripes. So just like we did before, we're going to do every other one. I'm going to do a little bit right here because that is kind of under his arm. You know, clowns always have a crazy amount of colors on their outfits. So I'm starting with the orange now. I'm going to go ahead and do his pant leg. I'm not going to do him in traditional colors, of course. So I know normally that clowns have big red boots usually, but mine is not going to have big red boots. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this top part while I have the marker out. I think we're good enough. We can do them both at the same time. I think they're small enough spaces. It's not taking up too much time to do them. So YR16 is next. I noticed today, I don't know about you guys, but I noticed today that my markers need some serious maintenance time. So I am going to be doing some marker maintenance after this next show. It'll probably take me a couple of days. I didn't get to do any maintenance after our last retreat, and my markers usually get a pretty good workout during the retreat. So if anybody needs marker maintenance video or anything like that, let me know, because I'll be doing it anyway. Otherwise, I do already have marker maintenance videos on YouTube. But you never know, I might say something you haven't heard before. This is not going to be a Halloween card. This is going to be a birthday card. He makes me think a little more of birthday than Halloween, but he could definitely be a Halloween clown. Hi, Karen. So now I'm going to use YR15, and I'm just going to do that back and forth like I did on the other one, very lightly, so I can keep that highlight. Clearly this last color doesn't take long to do. How many of you like watching scary movies? I love scary movies. Love, love, love. All right. I think that's it for the orange, yellow, and blue. So now we're going to move on to the last two color families that I want to use on this. So our next one are the red and the yellow green. So again, it was G99, YG17, G14, YG03, and YG21. Our R's are 89, 37, 46, and 24. So here we go. We're going to do the red next, I think. Eek! Red makes me a little bit nervous because I don't want to bleed red into any other color, but I definitely want his nose and his mouth to be red. So I'm going to go around the bottom of this little bubble nose here, this little clown nose, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom, a little bit dark. And then around his mouth, I want it to be really dark in the corners. So I'm going to come out just a little bit on those. And same on this side. Now, we're also going to do like more like his hat and his shirt and all that stuff, but I want to focus right now just on his face. So the next one is going to be R37, which should still be rather dark. And I'm going to just extend out from where I put that last color. I'm not going to go all the way around his nose yet. I still want it to be rather light up at the top. But I am going to go around the bottom of his mouth and extend out from where I put that last color around his mouth, because I want to keep that real deep in his cheeks. You don't have to, but that's just the way that I like to do it. So now we have cheeks and half a nose. The next one is going to be R46. This is my favorite red. This one we're going to take all the way around the top of his nose. And it's still pretty dark, so I am going to come down here and deepen that up a little bit more. I'm going to make sure I go all the way around his mouth now. And then we're going to go to R24, which is going to be a lot lighter. So we're going to go just over his nose like this. We're going to leave that highlight. I'm just going to touch so that it blends together. I want to leave that highlight on his nose. Do you see how I did that? It really shows up really like very bright. So it was coloring with the darker colors at the bottom and then leaving that white space, and then just one swipe and just around where it meets up to get rid of the line. Hi, Rachel. We're going to kind of do the same thing with his mouth like that. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit more, but once I get it in there, I'm just going to go around that line of where the last color stopped and this color started, because I want to make sure that that gets blended out so you can't see it. So see how well that blended out? It was very simple. It just took a little bit of patience. All right, so we're gonna go back to R89 because I don't want to do his eyes. I'm gonna do the outside of his eyes in a different color. But I do want a little bit more red on him, so I'm gonna do his shirt red. So I'm gonna start around the outside and up under here where these ruffles are folded over, trying not to touch that line on the ruffle because I want to do that in a different color. So I'm doing a little flip-flopping with him. So I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing and that I can still hold the marker pretty close up right now. I think I'm going to do his hat red too, but we need to do that all by itself because it's going to take a little bit longer to do. So I'm going to take my time on that. So this is the R37. Starting to blend out a little bit from where I had that other red. Because we used Memento, it doesn't matter if we go over the black dots. It's just going to deepen them a little bit, but it won't bleed. So that's good. And then I'm also going to do now with this color underneath the buttons. I want to give some depth to the buttons. Probably should have put just a tad bit, so I'm going back to R89 real quick, and I want to give just a little bit more depth to those buttons. It'll make them stand out just a little bit more, which was kind of my purpose of that. Okay, we're going to move on to R46 now, and this is the one that we're going to use a lot more of. We're just going to leave a little bit left of the R24. I'm going around the buttons. And then I'm going to pull out from the side and leave just a little bit of highlight on his tummy, on his happy clown tummy. R24 is the last color. And again, just like before, I'm not going to do a whole lot of blending. I'm just going to put that color on there and then go around wherever the lines are so you can't see any lines. So I'm not blending the whole thing out. I want to leave a whole lot of highlight. There we go. Wow, that really did make his little buttons pop. Okay, so now let's work on his hat. So he needs some texture going on in his hat. So I'm going to use the artist drawn lines, or my lines, if you will, to go with the darkest color. I'm going to emphasize some of these lines that I indicated. I thought that would be where the hat folds and bends. It's just a guide though. You don't necessarily have to, when you're coloring it, doing it quite like that, but that's what I had in mind when I drew it. And don't forget over here, okay, R37 is next. Still a pretty dark color. So we're just going to extend out from where we put that last color. Just giving him a little bit of personality. Want some depth back there. I'm not going to put a whole lot here. You got to hold this marker upright. This nib is very soft. Probably needs replaced. And you can put the folds wherever you want, wherever you feel like there's the most bend and fold on your little clown's hat. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the whole top there. I'm going to kind of deepen a few little spots by going over them a second time. There we go. It's starting to build in his hat. R46 is next, and it's usually quite a bit lighter and a little more red than the cherry kind of red that was already on here. So I'm going to extend out. I'm going to leave just a little bit for the last color for highlight in a few different spots. I don't want to touch his face with this marker for sure. I'm gonna do a little bit of dragging from here, kind of emphasize his head shape. You always want to try to go with the shape of the head and the shape of the hat so that you can just keep it looking like it's flowing the right way. So I'm going to go a little bit up from here to kind of meet in that center spot. And I think I need just a little bit more on this side so it evens out like the other side. And then we're going to use the last color to finish it up. R24. And again, we're going to do that little bit of sweep. And when we need to, we're going to blend any lines that show up just on the line. So we want to keep that highlight going. So like just along the line, just so there's not any weird kind of streaky lines. I'm going to do back and forth here, but as you can see, there are going to be some lines we're going to have to work on. So we just go in there, just where the line is, and kind of work it out a little bit. You can do this on any project. So this is a technique just to kind of keep from seeing those lines that show you changed colors. So if I hold that up, you can see how I worked out all of those lines. I still have folds and I still have wrinkles, and I have highlights, but I don't have any big streak lines on there, which is totally my goal. So the rest of him, I think I might actually give him red boots. I'm going to wait. We'll do all the green, and then we'll decide at the very end if we're going to give him red boots or green boots. I can't decide. Okay, so moving my green colors down so I can see them a little bit better. I do want to put green. I'm going to put this darkest shade of green along these stripes right here. Basically because this is like an olive green, and then I'm going to be switching to a yellow green, so this will definitely look different on there than it would if it was like the bright yellow green. It's almost like putting black on there, but it still has that green tint to it, so it'll match the rest of the green when we get it on there. But look at how that really gives it dimension, just coloring those stripes on the edge of his ruffles. I think it makes a big difference. And if I went through all the trouble of drawing all those little ruffle lines, I'm certainly going to color them. There's no right or wrong way, though. You can do it however you like. Once you have these sweet, cute, but creepy clowns, you can color them a million different ways. They're super fun. So that's really given some depth. I like that. I'm super happy with how that turned out. Nice. Okay. Now we're going to start working on his eyes. This makeup on his eyes. This is a very deep green, so I am not going to put a whole lot. I'm just going to put it around the base of his eyes. Now I'm sure when we get back from our next expo that Jamie will probably color these clowns too, and you'll get a whole different perspective on how to color them. This is only one way of the many ways that you can do it. YG17 is next. This is where we start going a little into some yellow green. This one is a bit of a transition, so it needs a little bit of love and careful couple of layers over top of there to get that blend to come out really, really nice and smooth. But if you use the tip of your marker and you're real careful, you'll get there. I promise. It's not hard. It's just takes a little bit of time. So now this one is the third color in the combination, and I think this one is really bright. So I'm gonna take this one all the way around the outside of his eye. You want to make sure you don't go in the whites of his eyes because you really want them to stand out. So if you do, you might have to use a white gel pen. I'm going to put a little bit up here in this arch. It almost looks like a horn on his eyes. And then I'm going to do YG03. And this one is the one that I'm going to do the whole outline. And I'm going to leave just one little area for the YG21. One little white area there. Because I want these to be green, but I want them to be a cool color of green. Green and yellow. So YG21 is last. And this one I'm going to kind of do the same thing, a little bit of back and forth. Since this one has a little bit more yellow in it, I'm going to go down into the other colors just a little bit until it blends out very nicely. I love that. I hope you guys like it. You don't want to do too much with this color because it will kind of wash out some of the other greens. So you have to be a little cautious with this color, but look at how that green pops on this paper. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to work on his gloves next. I really want his gloves to be green, not red. I don't want there to be too much red. So I'm just going around the base of where the ruffle goes over his hand, and a little bit right here where his thumb is. A little bit where his thumb is, and a little bit on the tip. I think this is the reason why I'm going to end up putting green on his boots, is because if his gloves are green, his boots should be green. But hey, who knows? It can be different colors, right? He is a clown. So this is the YG17. Remember, it's the one that it takes just a little bit of patience to get that to blend together. It's kind of a big jump from an olive green. But if you just go over it a couple of times, it will come together. I'm going to do that one more time on this side. And I am going completely over that other green that I put on there and just extending out from there to kind of get that green to blend just a little bit more. Now G14's brighter. We talked about that. Look at how different those gloves look than his eyes before I start putting in these lighter colors. It's a big difference, a stark difference, that is for sure. And even this green is more green than yellow green, so it is quite different as well. Now we're going to use the YG03, and remember that's the one that we went all the way around the outside of the eyes with this one. So we're going to go all the way around the outside of the gloves. I'm just going to finish his thumb because it's kind of under there and it probably won't get a whole lot of light. And then we're going to go around the outside of his glove, leaving that little bit of white for us to put that real bright yellow in there. Yellow green, actually. Okay. Oops, slippery little suckers. Man, I can't believe how quiet everybody is. Super duper quiet. You guys are still here, I can see. I just don't see anyone talking. Okay, we're gonna blend out this color, and look at that. As soon as it dries, it's gonna look way more like his eyes. It's pretty close now, but it needs just a little bit. There we go. Oh my gosh, these colors pop so much on this new paper. I love it. So what do you think? Somebody tell me, what do you think? Should we do, I'm gonna do these little balls green. Should we do his boots green? Or should we do his boots red? Okay, so when I do these little balls, I'm just kind of extending out from where the artist drawn lines are, just to kind of show some shape of these little balls on his hat. Nobody has an opinion? Nobody, anybody? Did everybody fall asleep? Even my regulars aren't here tonight. I think they thought I wasn't going to be live. I think they was all surprised. They'll be surprised when they see it in the morning and they missed it. Okay. So this one, just going to be extending out from where I put the last color. It's a little bit tougher of a blend, like I said earlier, so I'm not going over everything. I'm just kind of picking some random spots because I want it to look more poofy. Is poofy a word? Poofy? So I'm only going around some of the areas. I also want to keep that texture of different colors in there. Shh, Jack. G14. Yeah, there's either nobody's talking or I don't see any comment. G14. I just keep talking to myself. It's all right. I don't mind. Jack's trying to talk to you guys though. You hear him? Probably want to extend these just a little bit further so they kind of match the other side. Now we have two more colors, so what we're going to do is with YG03, I'm just going to blend out around the outside. I'm going to leave this center part for the last color. So I'm just going to go around the outside, sort of over the colors that are there, blending them out, putting a little bit of this YG color in there. Oh, thank you, Carol. He's almost done. And then this one, I'm just going to go in there in each little section where the white is, and I'm just going to almost do a pouncing. It's kind of like a mix between a blend and a pounce because I want to get that color in there but not too thick, and I don't want to wash out any other color. And look at how much more texture those little balls have. I love it. So what do we think? Green on the boots or red on the boots? What do you think, honey? Green? Red. Green. Red? Okay. If no one else answered, hubby says red, so they're going to be red. So back to the R89, R37, R46, and R24. Those are the colors we used on the rest of our little clown. I'm also going to need something about a C8 and a C5 so I can do the bottoms of the shoes. So I'm just putting a little bit in there, and then I'm just going to blend that out with C5. I'm only going to have my marker open for momentarily, so I only took one cap off. Not recommended. Aha! Look at Tessa finally said a color. I already picked red. I asked like 5 times. Nobody answered. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start by putting some along the back part since his body will be shadowing that, and then his ruffles are shadowing here, and then I'm going to put just a few little marks there where his little boots are folding. I'm not going to put any up here just yet. I don't want the darkest color up there. We want to put the really light color on the tops of his boots so it looks like he has really big feet. Did it take a bit? Is there something wrong with there? I think there's something wrong with Facebook, Tessa. I think it's just not showing me. I don't see any comments. That comment you made is the first one I've seen in like.
The last one I seen on when I looked on Facebook was like Jane or Michelle.
Yeah, there must be something wrong with the comments. I'm so sorry. Orange would have been a good color. I'm sorry, I didn't get that done. This one, I'm going to go just along the base. That's the first time I saw the orange comment, and I already had the red ones out. I was like, man, it took a long time for that to show up. Well, at least you guys can see me. At least it's not frozen. That's a good thing. I guess you have to weigh the good and weigh the bad, huh? Okay, so we have 2 more colors. So we're going to blend out a little bit with this R46. It is my favorite one. And this one, I'm going to go all the way around the front of his boot. But I'm going to leave a whole lot of that for the last color. I think that will give us some room to really make some highlights on the tops of his boots. Hey! Hey, Nerdy Crafter! I know who you is. Oh, I kind of like them in red. I don't know. They're kind of cute. Alright, so now we're going to blend out with this R24. when I get up here, remember I'm just going to put that real light color on there, and then I'm going to just go over the line where the two colors meet and blend that out. I don't want to lose my highlight on the top of his boot. Once I get that done, so you can see the difference. Let's see if you can see it up close. You can see all the lines on there, but you can't see any on that side. So we're going to fix that by just lightly touching over where the lines are. And that kind of blends that out. See? Now we still have two more things to do. We have buttons and eyeballs. So I think since we didn't get the boots in orange, we'll go back and do the buttons in orange. So with the orange, I'm going to use the darkest color to do the inside line to make that button, that middle part of the button, look like it's sunk in. They're a little bit hard to see on video, but I think what I'm going to do is switch to, I'm going to do YR16, and then I'm going to switch to this YR21 just to give myself a little bit of a different look. So I'm going to keep the middle center part of the button in the orange, but then I'm going to do the underside in orange, and then I'm going to switch to the YR21 and give the top part of the button, keep the top part of the button much lighter than the bottom. These are small buttons, so they're not really going to make a whole lot of difference, but we got them anyway. And then I think what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of blue in there for his eyes. So I'm going to use the B16, and all I'm going to do is just put one thin line around the outside of the black, just so he has a little bit of color up there in those eyes. He's super duper cute. When he dries, when his eyes dry a little bit, then we're going to put white gel pen over that so they really stand out. And now we're going to die cut him. So I got my little diamond press die cut machine thingy right here. And earlier we talked about how to cut the dies. So now that we have the dies cut, we're going to actually, I'm going to scoot out just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to lay the die over top of the image. Make sure I get it where I want it. I'm going to hold it there. I was trying to figure out what I did with my washi tape. Stay. I guess you just talk to it, it'll stay. I'm just going to use this washi tape if I can get it off of the roll. There we go. Now whenever I use washi tape, I always wipe it on my hand so that it doesn't stick to my paper too much, because you never know which kind of washi tape is going to have a lot of sticky to it. And I don't want to tear my paper. So my head's going to be in the way for just a second while I line this up. There we go. I'm just going to put 2 pieces of tape on there, and I got my hair in it. And then we just, this is my, just run it through my die cut machine like this. I think I haven't used this die cut machine in forever. Not sure if that's if there's any more stuff I'm supposed to put on here, or if that does it. Nope, that does it. Yay. All right, so I'm going to take this off gently and slowly so it doesn't tear my paper. I'm going to save that because who knows, might need it again. There's my cute little clown. I'm a little bit particular about where the white is on these, so if I don't get the cut exactly right, sometimes I like to go in and just trim it up a little bit, but I'm a fussy cutter, so I don't mind doing that. You do not have to do that. Also, it's a little bit more focusing on how to get the dye on there when you're on a live than it is when you can stand up and see what you're doing. I cannot do that on a live, so I have to just judge it. But I don't like all the little white spaces. So I'm also going to use my X-Acto knife real quick and cut this little square out. I know it's a small square and it probably doesn't matter, but I'm just going to cut it out anyway, and this one because it'll just make me happier. And you know, why not? Why not be happier? There we go. I'm going to use this to poke that one out that I cut. All right, and now, perfect. I'm going to cut a little bit right here, I think. He was a little bit off center when I die cut him, but nobody can be perfect every time. Okay, so we have one more technique we're going to do. It looks like we only have 2 people here, but hey, somebody might be watching this on YouTube. So we are going to use the new stencil real quick to stencil us up a background. Because, you know, why not? All right, so this is the Super Spiral. It's super cool, but it has this big center right here. So when we ink with this one, it's going to leave all that covered up. And then we're going to come in with this one, and it's going to fill in more color and still leave a spot, which is where we're going to put this little guy. I think that'll be super cool. So let's do it. Let's do it. Probably should put some pixie spray on here in case you guys have never heard of that or don't use that. This is pixie spray. It's a light tack for positioning your stencils. I just spray a little bit on there and then I place it where I want it. I think I might want it to go like this. I have 4 colors of ink. Maybe I should have done yellow and blue. Yellow and blue make green. Anyway, I picked orange and blue. Which one should I put first, hon? Blue or orange? I've never done this stencil, so
Put the blue down first.
Okay, so we're gonna do 2 colors. I believe Faded Jean is darker than Salty Ocean, so we're gonna start with Faded Jeans and do it in the center, and then we're gonna go out with the lighter color on the outside. So I'm gonna start with Faded Jeans, and I'm gonna try to get myself a really solid color in there. I might even go over it twice just to get a really deep, darker color on there. And go over it twice instead of having to press really hard. Because remember, none of this center part will have any color at all. right now. Blue. See, I did the same thing you said this time. Salty Ocean is where we're going to extend out from that. Not going to go quite as dark on this one, but I do want to cover all the areas. I just thought it would give us a different variety if we use two different shades of blue and 2 different shades of orange. I just thought it might give us a little bit fancier look. I do want to kind of blend this area between the two though. I don't want you to really see a big old line because we changed the color. I'm going to kind of work that line a little bit. There we go. So some of it is real light along these edges and some of it is darker, but that is the purpose. Okay, so now we're going to take this one off. Yay! The big reveal. If you just wanted to use one stencil, you would have something that looks like this. I forgot to mask that part. Oh well. We'll just trim it up and we'll be good. All will be good. Now we put a little pixie spray on this one. By the way, don't get pixie spray on your fingernails because it doesn't come off very easily. And now we're going to place this one over top and we're going to add some orange. Let me see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to play with it just a little bit because it's all kind of new to me. And I don't really...
Do it so the peak of the circles right in between the 2 circles of the peak that you already put down.
This? I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, get it where it's in the center.
I kind of liked it right here. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. It's whatever you want to do. But that works right there.
Well, that's where I decided I wanted to do it. But this time, I'm going to actually put covers on this because I don't want to color orange like I did with the blue. Now I can trim or put a sentiment over that. It's not ruined. I just want to cover it up for the orange. You like it offset? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have spiced marmalade and wild honey. So I think we're going to go with the spiced marmalade up close, and then we'll fan out with the wild honey. So spiced marmalade first, and that's where we're going to do this part right here. So just these 2 diamond areas are all I want to do. There'll be some overhang, but that's really my goal. This is a really cool stencil. I could have some serious fun with this. All right. We are just beginning the fun with this stencil. You guys just wait. I bet I can come up with all kinds of cool stuff for this one. Wild honey is next. And we're going to start going out from there. And I'm going to kind of do it sort of randomy. Is randomy a word? I don't want to wash out my blue too much. Oh look, I was just coloring the table. But I do want my little areas to show the difference. So already this looks super cool, doesn't it? Just going to kind of go over the whole thing. We're going to get some Really cool colors on this. I am excited. I'm also going to wipe this off a little bit because it got some of the blue on there. And it's okay. It can have a little bit, but I don't want to leave it on there when I'm not using it anymore. Okay, here we go. Who's ready? This is going to make an awesome card, I think. Ooh. I was feeling like I was covering all the blue, but I didn't. Okay, that is super duper cool. If I had more time, I'd play with that a whole bunch more than that. Alright, I think we're even going to, I think we might actually wet it a little bit too. Because, you know, why not? Let me wipe off my table. I think I'm going to have to pick a... Ooh, I don't want to spray my little guy here. Ooh, nice, right? This is super cool. And I don't know if I like it better this way or this way, but we're going to squirt just a little bit of water on there and give it a few minutes to sit. And then we'll just damp it off and see. That is a super cool stencil. Ooh, I love it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. All right. So now with this dry area of this towel, I'm just going to lift. It didn't leave too much, but it just left some very small hints. I'll show you. It's stuck to the table, that for sure. I'll show you up close so you can see it. There's just a little bit of water in there, but not too much. I like it. All right, so now I have to pick a, look. Now I have to choose the card base. So let's see if I have any orange in here, because I think orange might look really good. Although I'm not sure if I have any. What do you think about that one? That's not really orange. Let's try another one. That's orange. What do you think, honey? Orange?
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so I already have card bases cut that are cut in the right size that we need. I have my espresso, so I'm going to use that as a burnisher today. I'm going to do both sides. And then I already have pre-cut paper. I always have ready. That I am going to, I lost my pin for my glue before I left to go on my trip, and then I just found it tonight when I stepped on it, which is always an unfortunate thing. But glue is still happy, still works. Oh baby, are you watching videos instead of me? Okay, so we have our card base. I like it to be on there. And I think I'm going to do the card this way, I think. So I'm going to flip this over and stamp my name on the back so it'll already be on there once we start adding some dimension. It'll already be done. And we're going to flip this over. And I think I'm going to do it this way. Although, you know, if I put blue with it, I can trim that card down. Let me see if I have any blue papers down here that I can use. Oh, that one's not big enough. Not the right shade of blue. Of course not. Oh wait, I might have one in my scrap drawer. I think I saw one the other day. It might be super handy. And that'll work. Voila! This will be very helpful because I'll be able to trim the paper down to match. So this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, that was so perfect. I don't even know where that piece of paper came from. And then this one is going to be 5, so we're going to trim it down here and here. And then that one corner that we messed up, well, not we, I had no mouse in my pocket. I'm going to trim that off. And then we can mat this one on here. Well, it looks like that paper wasn't cut straight. When it was in my junk drawer, see? So I just needed to fix that just a little bit because I pulled it out of my scrap drawer. It was kind of wonky. Okay, glue on the back. Then we're going to mat this on here. Hopefully I can get that straight without standing up. Ooh. There we go. All right, so we have our little clown. Oh my goodness. I kind of like him offset. I kind of like him over here. And then I have these. So my hubby cut me these sentiments to say happy birthday. He cut them out for me and I thought I could use them tonight. And I want to show you what you can do with them because we're thinking about carrying some of these in the shop with a mat and everything. But you can color them with your Copic markers or your Oxides or anything like that. No, I'm going to use my marker. So I'm going to place them on top of this piece of paper right here. I know they're both white. And I'm going to, you like the font? I'm going to just color it with my Copic marker. Kind of do a two-tone. So I want to see how well it goes. So when you get these, they'll be like, they'll be in pieces and then there'll be a matting for it, and then you can color them with Copics or Oxides or whatever you want. So you can make them any color you want. So they'll be white, and then you can make them whatever color you want. That way you don't have to be with like, oh, I wanted that happy birthday, but I didn't want that color. I wanted a different color. So just like we did earlier, I'm just going to go in and touch where those two shades meet up to kind of soften that line. We talked about how that worked on the clown earlier. Same thing with this. And all I'm doing is using the exact same color combo that we used when we colored the clown. I'm just using making it an ombre color. So I started with the darkest shade and then I went lighter. And this is actually a little bit darker than I wanted, so we're going to actually use the we're going to use the colorless blender and lighten it up just a little bit. So here's the colorless blender. And I'm just going to go over this top piece just to give it a little bit of lighter look and texture it out. And you know, you can do whatever you want. It's your image. So look at that. And it goes really well. So it really does need to be matted. Do you have a matting for that, honey? I bet you do. I think I might want it to go like here.
Yes, I actually have one.
I figured you did. So then it mats like this on top of, does that make sense? Now I'm going to use the orange for this one, I think. So we'll have the orange and the blue. But this time I'm going to start at the top with the darkest color and go down so that they're dark and they meet up light together. Not that it really matters. You can do it any way you want. But I think they're a really neat idea. And small enough for a card. That's hard to find. Tessa, you probably remember we did something like that at the retreat. And we've gotten good feedback, so we decided, I think we're going to do it.
My creation.
Huh?
My creation.
Yes, of course. I think I'm going to put, since I only had 3 colors, I think I'm going to use this YR20 21, or do I want to use 20? I think 20 has more of an orange tint. No. Yeah. I use this one. Nope. It needs to be 21. It's too far. You can color it with the sketch end, or you can color it with the brush nib, whatever works for you. I don't need to lighten this one. I kind of like the way it came out. So I'm gonna take these, and if you have Barely Art glue, it's like the best for these little small areas. Just don't squeeze it real hard so it doesn't, too much doesn't come out. And then remember, it dries invisible, so if you get it outside the lines, it is not going to matter. You won't be able to see it anyway. I usually just wipe off any excess that I might get. You don't have to, but I want to use it right away. There we go. So no problems with the glue coming outside the lines. Didn't really matter because the glue dries so wonderfully. Now I'm going to put the happy on there, and then we're going to figure out where to put it on this card. So be on the lookout for this kind of stuff to be popping into the shop very, very soon. Well, for crying out loud. Now look at that. I can make that any way I want to look. It's up to me. Now I'm going to use the back, and I'm just going to press it to make sure I got it on there really good. And I did. How stinking cute is that? Oh my goodness. I might actually put the sentiments at the bottom and stick him up I love this. What do you guys think? Super cool. All right. I'm gonna put some glue on the back of this so I can stick it on my card. I'd love to play with you guys, making all kinds of things all night, but I have an early flight tomorrow. So, just gonna glue this little guy down. I'm gonna put some bling on it, of course, and then we're gonna be all finito. See, he doesn't have to be totally scary. He can be fun and exciting and happy. He can be a happy clown. And now I'm pretty sure that I have some dots that say Halloween colors. So I'm pretty sure I have the right color. Oh wait, maybe we need to use these. Look at these orange ones. I think we need red. I think we need red. So hang tight a minute. Let me find some red. Bling bling. There's red. But I think I have some foil red that I think would really... Oh, look at that. The Halloween was orange and purple. I didn't even color him in any purple at all. Oh, there's the ones. That's what I think. The red foil ones. That's what I was looking for. I mean, we have all the colors, but I'm going to use red. So I'm going to start with a large red over here in the corner, medium red, like maybe here, a small red, I think over here. I think I need more. I mean, this is cool clown time. I think I'm going to put a whole bunch. Like maybe 9. Isn't that what Jamie usually puts on hers? I need this one to be down here. Then we need one over here.
Do you want a clear teardrop one underneath his eye so he has a tear?
No, it's a birthday.
He's crying because he's turning another year older.
I think we need one here. We need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more.
Another one in that white space.
Huh?
Another one in that white space.
Like here?
Yeah.
No. I kind of like that white space right there. But if you want me to put another one in the white space, it's going to have to be a medium one. Like this. Right there?
Right.
Now we have 9. Awesome. We're not even done yet. We got to put it on the card. We're almost there. I almost forgot we needed a card base. I got so excited about the image, I forgot I needed to put it on my orange card base. Here we go. Almost done. Oh my goodness. That made it perfect. Oh my goodness. Look at that. What do you guys think? Wasn't that super fun? So now you know how to cut your dies apart. You know how to color your Copic Creepy Clown. You know to keep your eyes on the lookout for sentiments. Background looks awesome. Hi, Nicole. So yeah, there we go. That is our cute but crazy clown. I colored him different than the packaging, of course. So this was the packaging and this is my version of that. It was super, super fun. I'm almost tempted to save it for my grandson's birthday. It's not till January, but isn't it cute? It's so cute. So I really love that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wish I could be here again tomorrow night. Normally I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9:30 Central, but tomorrow I fly out for the New Jersey show this weekend. But I will be back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll play with more of these amazing new release stamps. I know a lot of people have picked up the voodoo dolls. We can do cool stuff with the sentiments. We got some, this spider would look amazing on that stencil background, don't you think? And the fly too. So we made a little fly so he can get caught in the web. And we made a big fly just for the fun of it. And the clowns. So this is our new release. This is our stencil called the Super Spiral. So if you have them, try out this techniques with me. And if not, well, you can go check them out. They're still on the site, but I'm not going to lie to you. They're going fast. So, and we have a show this weekend. Just saying. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you guys next week. And take care until next time. Good night.